Hey SDI fam, what's up? Lloyd Dilworth here. FTT 100 week 7 cycle of operations. I'm going to go through the cycle of operations of two firearms today, and I'm going to be cleaning one of those firearms in this video also. The two firearms I'm going to be going through the cycle of operations are the ATI GSG 922 and the Taurus G2C. For both, I'll be using snap caps. So for the first one, we're going to manually ensure that all the weapons that we're using, all the firearms that we're using are not chambered. There's no live ammunition there. No live ammunition around. We're going to ensure that, and like I said, we're using snap caps, so I'm going to manually clear these weapons. Inspecting it to make sure that it's clear. It's clear. Physically checking to make sure it's clear. It's clear. Visual and physical inspection. There's no rounds in the chamber. Visual inspection, ensuring that the firearm is clear. Visually inspecting, physically inspecting. There are no rounds in this firearm either. This weapon is clear. I'm going to go through the cycle of operations of the ATI GSG 922 first. I'm going to load 2 snap caps into the magazine. Snap caps loaded. Feeding. Chambering. Firing. Now while firing this, since it is a rim fire, I am not going to allow this hammer to slam into here because I don't want to break my firing pin. So I will be holding the hammer. It's firing. Ejecting. Resetting. Ejecting. There's the magazine. There's our second snap cap. That was the cycle of operations for the ATI GSG 922. We're going to ensure that this firearm is clear. Nothing is in the firearm. We have inspected the firearm physically and made sure nothing's in the firearm. That was the cycle of operations for the ATI GSG 922. Moving on. I'm going to repeat the same process with the Taurus G2C. Once again, we're going to manually check to make sure the firearm is clear. Yes, the firearm is clear. I'm going to load 2 snap caps into my magazine. The snap caps are loaded into the magazine. Feeding. Chambering. Firing. While with my finger on the trigger, ejecting. Finger off the trigger, resetting. Extracting. Magazine is dropped. Extracting. Going to ensure the firearm is clear. Both snap caps are in hand. Firearm is clear, manually clearing and visually and physically checking to ensure that the firearm is clear. There are no bullets in this firearm. On to cleaning. To clean this firearm, it's pretty simple. Personal preference only, but I'm going to use gloves because I personally do not want oil all over my fingers because I'm just too sexy for that. Using blue nitrile gloves. Once again, I'm going to ensure our firearm is empty with a visual inspection and a physical inspection. There's nothing in the firearm. Okay. With this particular firearm, I'm going to use this. I'm going to pull this takedown spring down. Let's make sure I got a good grip. And then release the slide. Pull the trigger and it slides right out. This is our lower. Our upper. We're going to take our recoil spring off. Even though it looks lubed up, I just went to the range. So there is a bunch of gunk and buildup on this firearm. So we're going to be doing a cleaning of it. That was our recoil spring. This is our barrel. Even though it looks oiled up, like I said, I just went to the range. So yeah, it's a lot of buildup. So, on to cleaning. I'm going to be using a Spartan Carbon Destroyer. Cotton swabs. Cloth mops. This is to assist the cloth mops. Our brush, our board brush. First thing I'm going to do is apply some Carbon Destroyer to my cotton swab. Then I'm going to clean my slide. Here we go. Wow, look, it's already turning black from all the buildup. I'm going to make sure to get in all those grooves and behind this firing pin and along the sides of this slide really well. We're also going to get in the front of this thing really good. I'm going to take my brush directly after. I'm going to scrub this stuff out of here. Side to get in the tighter places. Wow, look at that. Just crazy buildup. Let's get rid of that. That's kind of gross. Onto the barrel. Onto the barrel. So carbon destroyer, just not even using a lot of this stuff, but it goes a long way whenever it's on a Q-tip or a cotton swab. It goes a very, very long way. And this goes back to one of our papers that we wrote. I mean, not our papers, our discussion on the importance of cleaning. I believe that it's important to clean your weapon after the very least every 150 to 200 shots. Because at the very least, when I go to the range, I know that when I go to the range, I'm gonna shoot at minimum about 200 to 300 rounds, and especially with a firearm like this 9mm and a 22, which is just so much darn fun to fire. So I do realize that after that many shots, there will be a definite buildup. Take one of our mops now and go through that barrel. Or brush go in there too one time. Uh-oh. Okay, Mr. Board Brush, don't get stuck now. It's kind of nasty now. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. As you can see, we had an all right now moment. Those all right now moments are those. All right now, don't do it. Buffer recoil spring. Coat on. Very light coat, and take my spring and my Schwab and just, there we go, we're just gonna ride that whole spring all the way down. golly, guys. I mean, wow. Lord. So carbon destroyer on the swab, and I'm just gonna get in here with it and just make sure just to definitely gonna get all up in this slide right here. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not doing a cleaning video on the ATI GSG 922 also, it's because actually earlier today I cleaned it. And I would have done a video on that, but I had a hang up, so couldn't do it. That looks good. Let's bring our brush to it. Scrub this stuff out of it. Jeepers, it's a noticeable difference. Like, that stuff is coming off of there. Wow. Look, noticeable. Noticeably better. Scrubbed. All right, let's lube her up and oil her up, guys. So, I use the accuracy oil. And all this stuff has been provided to us by Sonoran Desert Institute, SDI. Awesome school. Thank you, guys. I love this school. Put a little bit of this oil on the swab. And I'm actually going to start with the spring. Just like earlier. Just going to make sure to go around the spring. Let that spring ride all the way up. More time with the spring. The barrel. Once around. I'm going to take a mop. Don't want to overdo it. Like, I'm not even squeezing. I'm just letting gravity do its deal. I'm gonna put the barrel and slide back together now. Time to put them back together. Barrel's in place. Slide and recoil pin are in place. We'll make sure we get a little oil in all the grooves on the slide. Put a little dab on everything. Just a little dab. Used to say dab a do you? That's what they used to say, a little dab a do you. Now, you can go ahead and put it back together. Match the grooves, match the grooves, match the grooves, match the grooves, and she's in like Flynn. She's clean. This concludes my video submission for week 7 FTT 100. My name is Lloyd Dilworth. Thank you.